Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a Twist. And I am going to use the, what is it called? I keep calling it the wrong thing. Sweet Old Friends. And it is from the Silly Old Bear Sweet Collection. And this is the Winnie the Pooh. Basically, it's a Winnie the Pooh collection. And oh my gosh, it is so stinking cute. And I'm so excited that you're going to be able to order this tomorrow. Now, if you're in the USA only, and that's who I sell to. So if you're watching my channel from another country, I'm sorry, because of the copyright, it's only in the United States. Now, I don't know if that will change down the road or whatever. I don't know all that stuff. So anyways, so if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do today. So I'll have two projects. First one will be Stampin' Up's sample, or how I think they did it. I don't have the recipes for the new online exclusives that start tomorrow, or the catalog, because I think it'll be posted tomorrow. So I'm just kind of going with what I think was used based on the picture. So it's close enough, I think. So yeah, so the first one will be the Stampin' Up, and then I'll do a twist on it. So this has been a really popular series. It's been really fun. It's kind of great to do this because you might be in kind of like a funk where, you know, you can't think of anything or whatever, but you still want to sit and create and craft. Just case something, and then sometimes that will, you know, get your mojo back. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to get started with that. So don't forget also, tomorrow is and I talked about this last week, since the catalog will go live. We have the new starter kit promotion. You'll be able to get the new in color pads for free with your starter kit. But if you're not interested in the pads, you can you can add $35 of your choices stuff. So there's like 2 different choices. So that is super great. So I'm so excited for you to get your hands on those new pads. Also, I will be doing my flip through of the catalog. So that will be 3 o'clock Arizona time. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget to tell you that. All right, so I am going to spin the camera, so close your eyes while I do that. This is the Sweet Old Friends bundle, and I have the collection here. I'm trying to think if there was any embellishments, and there might have been, so I apologize if I don't have those out. All right, so we have the Sweet Old Friends. Look how cute it is. And then it has the coordinating dies. And then it has the sweet words and labels. And that has dies as well. And then we have the DSP. And it has such fun things. Now, I will be using the DSP for my twist. All right. So let's see here. We have, and the first card is fairly simple. So it is very vanilla as the card base. This collection, it is just like so cool because the die cuts out so much, and it just makes it so much easy. It's so easy. All right. So let's see here. I have my memento. All right, so we have my memento, and I'm going to color with the blends, so that's why I'm using my memento pad. So we have this cute little frame here. Move my mic. All right, so we have a cute little frame. So that's just going to go in the center here. Let me scoot down just a little bit. There we go. All right, so it's going to go in the center-ish. Well, not in the center. It's going to come up a little bit, but in the center this way. Okay. And then it has old friends are the best friends. So isn't that the cutest little sayings? And Winnie the Pooh has some of the nicest little sayings. If you Google, there are so many that you didn't even know that that's where they came from. All right, so old friends are the best friends. And then we have Winnie the Pooh and Piglet walking along. Looks like they're having a heart-to-heart. We all need a best friend like that. And my best friend Tracy, she loves Winnie the Pooh too. All right, so we have this little trail of bees, but I just want one bee. So I'm going to take a Post-it note and I'm going to put that on there. And then I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to try just to ink up one bee, but the Post-it note's going to just be an extra little safeguard in case I got any ink where I wasn't supposed to. And then I'm going to stamp the little bee flying like that. All right. So let's color. Let me close my ink pad. So like I said, I don't have the recipes yet, so I'm just kind of like just guessing, you know, by the looks of it. And if it's not identical, I am okay with that. All right, so they put a little bit of a border around the frame, and it looked like crumb. So I'm going to take my light crumb and just draw a little shadow, and they went all the way around. And this just adds some definition because everything is stamped directly on the cardstock. All right, and then they just kind of like put some little marks along the ground like they're walking. All right, then let's start to color our cutie patooties. All right, so I'm just going to color Winnie the Pooh with Timid Tiger. So this is dark Timid Tiger. And I'm just kind of putting it around the edges. And then I'll take the light Timid Tiger and then just color it in. And then I'll use my color lifter to lighten some of this up. All right, so then I have my color lifter, and I'm just going to go in and down here along the head, and that will just kind of, it takes a little bit of time for that to activate and to like lighten that up, but it will lighten up, you know, that area. All right, let's do our little bee. So I'm just using light Balmy for the wings and dark Daffodil for the body. And then I have dark Barely Blush for Piglet. He's got some long arms. And then I have, let's see, dark Bubble Bath. So we're going to add a little bit of dark Bubble Bath in there so it gives a little bit of a pink hue to Piglet. And then I have my dark Granny Apple. And my dark Lemon Lime Twist. And that is all the coloring on the card. And you can see that that is just lightening up a little bit down Pooh's back. We can always come in and add a little bit more. All right. And the more it sits, the more it will kind of lighten up. All right. And then let me get some dimensionals because we're going to put this on with dimensionals because it's just very vanilla on very vanilla. So I want it to pop a little bit. So by using the dimensionals, it will do that. Especially when you're putting, you know, the same color on the same color. You kind of want to do something, you know, to that top layer so that it's noticeable that, you know, there's another color of the same underneath. Sometimes you can rough up the edges. Sometimes you can sponge the edges. So I'm just simply putting dimensionals. So then that natural light coming from, you know, your room will give you that shadow. You know, as the light hits it, you'll see that there's like 2 layers there. But that's the first card. So simple and quick. All right. So now let's do a twist to share with you the little book I have. I was like, oh, I have a Pooh book that has a whole bunch of little stories and sayings, and it is just so cute. Cute is the word of the day. But anyways, so this is a cute little book. I've had this forever, and it's just a quick little read, and you know, and this is exactly how these little guys are drawn. Because you know it changes over time. Some of the newer Pooh stuff, you know, he looks a little different or whatever, but when you go back to the older, you know, they definitely had a style. All right, so I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use the Silly Old Bear DSP. And it just has such cute little images, and you can tell I've been using it. But you have some little images that work with the dies, and then the background. I love this. It looks kind of like the inside of an old pillow. And then you have all the fun little critters, and I love the sky paper. Here's some more of the critters, and Pooh even has some clothes on there, and he's collecting his honey, and then some really fun plaid paper, some more scenes, and the little critters like doing a parade. Here's some in the woods, and then there's a map, and there is a is it the same one I already did? There is a folder that goes with this as well. All right, so here's another one, and this one has their signatures, which is really, really fun because I've pointed this out before. That owl does not spell the name properly. All right, so there is the paper. So I'm going to use that on my twist. All right, I'm also going to use Hydrangea Hue. All right, so let me get my pieces out here. All right, so I'm using hydrangea hue. And what I wanted to do, because it comes across on my camera or my video, and I don't know if it does to YouTube, but it almost looks blue. But it is like almost like an orchid. I don't even know how to pronounce it or like describe it. But it is not a blue. It is like hydrangea color. You know what hydrangeas look like. They come in a whole bunch of different colors. But I thought I would show some colors that you know what they look like, just so you can see like, oh, okay, well, freesia looks like this on my camera or whatever. All right, so this is freesia, just to kind of give you an idea of the difference. This is balmy blue, and this is not hydrangea, Highland heather. So just so you can kind of see the hydrangea, just so you know, like, well, Highland heather is, like more of a purple. So anyways, so I just thought that might help you kind of see that, my camera doesn't always show the proper colors, and then it depends on the settings of the phone or whatever you're looking at as well. All right, so let's see here. So I'm going to use the pretty the sky paper and we're just going to put that on some very vanilla. And I'm going to put that on the inside too, a little strip of it on the bottom here. Okay. And then we're going to do a little bit of stamping. Get a grid sheet. All right. And I'm going to use pecan or pecan or however you pronounce it. I made spiced pecans the other day. Oh my gosh, they're so good. I thought I had the little bag of what's left. Oh, here they are on my desk. Here. These are what's left. And they're so stinking yummy. Oh my gosh, they're my friend Terry's recipe. All right. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to stamp with, and it just says it never hurts to keep looking up. And this is with the pecan pie. And this is like one of the dies that come with the labels. And then I'm going to also stamp it, I will love you until forever and even after that. And whew, I was gonna say it almost makes me cry, but it does make me cry, that saying, because, I can be an old sap, I guess. But anyways, I love that saying. Oh, pull it together. Pull it together. All right. Now I'm all snotty. Oh, Diana. All right. And then we're going to put Pooh sitting there. Okay. So I think that's all I'm doing stamp-wise. But like I said, there's so many sayings that come from Winnie the Pooh. All right, now what I have done is I have this little image. So that's what I had showed you. And I'm going to die cut it out with the die. But I want to add a little bit of color to Pooh and the balloon. So while I do that, I'm also going to color this. And I guess I don't really need my foam pad anymore. All right. So let's do a little bit of coloring. So I have my light gray granite. And he's just sitting there, so just put a little shadow like we did on the other one. And we're going to put a little bubble bath. Put a little bubble bath in his ear and maybe a little bit on his cheek and a little bit on his belly, whether those are there or not, I don't know. All right, and then I'm going to take the dark, this is one of the new in colors, Golden Glow, and I'm going to color him with Golden Glow this time. So I'm just using the dark here and there. And then we'll go in with the light. And you can still kind of see that pink underneath there. Okay. So I kind of like that color on him. Little more than the Timid Tiger. All right, so, and then I'm just going to go in with the dark and put a little bit more dark here and there. And since it's a cartoon character, I'm not going to worry so much about going in there and blending out the lines. Because if you look at cartoons, they are very distinctively dark in areas and light in areas. All right, now I'm also going to add some color here. So what I did was I took the dark Golden Glow, just like I colored before. And the light. And this is just going to make this pop a little bit more. And just intensify the color. Now this is probably Cherry Cobbler because that is one of the colors that are in this DSP. But I don't want to use Cherry Cobbler. Cherry Cobbler is really, really dark. So I'm going to go with my Old Faithful. And we're going to use Poppy Parade. So I'm just going to have my dark Poppy Parade. And just around the edges, I'm going to put that dark Poppy Parade. And then I'll go in and I'll finish it with the light. And again, this just intensifies the color that's already there. And I'm just going to leave that little spot. And I might actually take my color lifter and lighten that up just a little bit. We'll see how that looks as it lightens up. All right, so let's put our card together. Now what I did was I die cut this out, which gives me this. So I didn't do Pooh, but I did the balloon already. All right, this is gonna go on the inside. So this does use 2 of the balloon. You know, the DSP has like 2 of each. So if you're going to do how I'm doing it, you will use up both of your balloons, and and then you won't have any more of this balloon if you want to do another card. So you could do this without doing this next step, but I love the look of it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out Pooh and the balloon. So I'm just kind of cutting away this extra paper. Just makes it easier to cut out. All right, so I'm going to cut out Pooh Now I'm not going to cut out the string. I'm just cutting out Pooh. So I'm cutting him away from the string because the string is already on the card. So this is a little bit of fussy cutting, but it's just designer series paper, and so it cuts out really, really easy. Okay, and I'm going on the line, but if there's a little bit of white, I'm not worrying about it too much. Okay, so Pooh's cut out, and then I'm going to cut out the balloon. The same thing, I'm kind of cutting on the line, but if there's a little bit of white, I'm not going to worry about it. And this kind of reminds me of paper towel. My sister used to do a lot of paper towel. And it's when you cut out from the same picture over and over, and then you stack it up, and it gives you like this 3D look. All right, so what I am going to do is, because of that little white line, I'm going to take my gray, and I'm just going to go over, just going to trace this. And what this will do is it will go, and it will just kind of go into that balloon and color that edge, so you won't see that white. Now you can do it with like a darker color than the light gray granite, but that's what I have on my desk. So, and we'll do the same thing with Pooh. Now Pooh is probably drawn and with early espresso. That's one of the colors that's in there, so I could have used that. But like I said, I have my gray granite on my desk, so I'm just using that. It will just knock down that white. All right, so let's bring this stuff over to the card. All right, so let's glue this to the card. And then the rest, so we can get this done already. All right. And then what I like to do is I'm going to put my dimensionals on these pieces, and before I peel the dimensionals off, I'm going to see where I need to place them on the card. And because there's dimensionals on them, this will make it visually in the same spot, because it's going to sit up a little bit. Because I don't want to just stick this here thinking, oh, that's good, and then I don't have any room for this. So I'm just going to, I think it will be about here. This probably looks good there. And that just kind of helps me visually. All right, so then I can put my greeting. So it never hurts to keep looking up, which is the cutest saying, right? With this image. Okay, and then this will go on there. And then I'm going to put these on with dimensionals as well. Now, since I know because we're just covering something identical, so I can put my dimensionals here because we're covering that. Same with Pooh. I'm covering Pooh. Now his little feet are kind of skinny, so let's see if I can get myself a skinny little dimensional. a little bit too long. Okay. And that one's a little bit too long. There. Now I just have to peel these off. Let me stand up so I can do this above. All right, and then I'm just going to lay this right over top of that balloon. And I'm going to put Pooh right over top of his Pooh, his twin. And this way, it's a lot easier to do that because then when I'm holding this, I don't have sticky dimensionals all over this and it's sticking to my fingers. And then this way, I just simply have to drop it on there. Now, you could use tweezers too if you wanted, but that gets dropped on there pretty darn easy. And we could use a gel pen. So I did lighten that area right there, but I think I'm going to take the white gel pen. So I'm so excited you're going to be able to get your gel pens. You won't have to go get them from Amazon anymore. So I'm just going to put that little bit of a balloon there. Put a little, I don't want to put a lot, but so anyways, but there is my twist. It never hurts to keep looking up. And I just love doing that. So it has a lot of dimension on this card. So, and by coloring that underneath, when you go like this, you can see that the balloon is colored underneath. Now, you could use the black dimensionals and then you wouldn't see that white there, but you know, I'm fine with that. And then, so let me show you. So this was the catalog version. And then this is my twist. So they're both adorable and I can hardly wait for you to be able to order this collection. So let me say, see you later, alligator. So anyways, so cute, right? Oh my gosh. So you can do so many cards with this collection because most of the dies cut out a lot of the pictures in the DSP. So you can just like cut a whole bunch out and just make cards like that. But this was fun. Popping that out, it gives some dimension to the card, I think. And I love adding that blends to it. It just gives it just intensifies that color, I think. So anyways, all right, so I'm going to stop blabbing so I can get my video uploaded. So I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, 3 o'clock. Arizona time, same channel, and we will be doing the catalog flip through. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a great night, and I'll see you then. All right, bye for now.